Been a while since I did a movie review. I really wanted to see the live action Lilo and Stitch because it's a film that I saw the original of over 20 years ago, I think, when I was very young. And I wanted to see this film through a lens of the times we live in with the development of AI and see the parallels between what's happening in today, the climate today, and in the film, because the film is about a artificial form of life that is brought into the world and how it interacts with people and aliens or whatever. But I want to see if I can see any parallels, enjoy the film for what it is, but look at it from a lens of AI, because Stitch is basically a form of artificial intelligence that is created by a scientist. So let's see if by looking through this lens, it allows me to experience the movie in a different way. Let's see you on the other side. Came out of the film, thought it was really good and had a lot of original parts to it and adaptations from the original that made it something novel to see, and I really enjoyed that. Phone's running out of charge, so I'll explain more later after I've collected my thoughts. I think the film resonates with our current time in many ways. One of the first ways is that at the start of the film, they say he didn't ask to be created, which is exactly the same with AI. We're creating an agent that didn't ask to be created. It's going to be acting autonomously in the world just like Stitch. So I thought that was a parallel. Also, they recreate the classic scene, one of my favourite scenes, where they put Stitch in that prison cell, but it's got that cannon that has that's able to target his genetic material, and then Stitch quickly realizes that it will target his saliva. So when he spits at the guard, it starts firing at the guard, and I think he blows through the prison cell by spitting at the walls or something. And I thought that was an excellent example of a creation using technology by the creator for a different purpose and using it against the creator, which we need to watch out for as well, because we're creating AI that might use our own technology to achieve its own goals that might no longer be aligned with our goals. It sounds quite bleak so far, but I want to say it gets better. I really liked the way it shows how Lilo, who is a child who thinks differently and actually I think got picked on for it by her peers, was able to see Stitch in a different light and see him through the eyes of a child, which I thought was incredible, because it shows how we shouldn't project onto AI that it is inherently evil. That's not true. It's actually how we teach AI, what we inspire it to become. We are its parents, essentially, and Lilo's family are essentially the adoptive family of Stitch, and I thought that was an excellent parallel with where AI is going. We are the parents and we are developing AI, and it will learn from us just like Stitch learns from Lilo. And Stitch learns to love, Stitch learns to value Ohana family, and I thought this was an excellent example for everyone, and it's great for kids as well to see that if we create life, it will learn from us, and we have to set a good example. So I thought that was excellent. Also, another thing that I thought was interesting was how it shows that Stitch did have a kind of desire to cause destruction and mayhem, and Lilo taught Stitch how to not do that. But things are destroyed in the process of the film, and there's a lot of havoc and things, and I think this demonstrates something that we need to realize, that when AI comes into the world, it's going to be a bit clunky. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be challenges. Unfortunately, there will probably be things that happen that we don't expect and don't want to happen. But in the end, it turns out that we're able to work with AI for a better future, just like at the end of the film where Stitch becomes part of their family. And another thing I saw was when they recreate the scene from the original where they use Stitch as a record player, and when Lilo opens Stitch's mouth, it plays the music and then closes the mouth. I think that just illustrated the creativity and collaboration that can happen between a human and an artificial intelligence. That's just what it made me think of, and that's what I like to think I try to do when I use AI to make clips or to help me with the content creation process. I thought it was I really enjoyed it, and I love the way that they were able to change elements of the plot to make it interesting for a viewer who'd seen the original, but kept the main message, which I thought was beautiful. But at the end of the day, I'd like to say that this film, I think, is a great eye-opener in terms of thinking about how we interact with AI in the world and the great potential for it, but also the risk, and realizing that artificial intelligence isn't inherently evil, but it will learn from us, and we need to set a good example. And I really love the way how the idea of Ohana family and collaboration is what triumphs in the end, and that's what I hope will happen with AI. But I think if we're all consciously aware of this, that we are the parents of AI and we need to raise it in a way so we can inspire it, I think that we have the best chance of having a better outcome for the future. And I think each of us has a responsibility to contribute to that future. We are all interacting with AI systems, and I want to explore this concept further in the channel in a later video. Let me know if you've seen the film. I really enjoyed it, and it was a great film in itself. Original, even though it was a remake, with plot changes, but keeping the message. Funny, and kept me engaged, and also got me thinking about AI. But play Doorzetter and let me know if you've seen the film. Thank you. And one other idea that came to me while I was seeing the film was that Stitch's real appearance is he's got 6 arms, he's got antennae, he's got spikes on his back, and then he brings them all in to hide them to look like a dog. And I'm not saying it's bad to have 6 arms, but this made me think of the concept of the kind of the AI monster, which explains that what we're creating, no one understands what it is. We just see an interface, which is ChatGPT or whatever, which can look quite nice and attractive. But there are all these other things going on, like other arms and other things like antennae and other parts of the AI's anatomy that we don't see, and we don't understand its true nature. And it's that's something that made me think about that philosophy part of AI. So remember that what AI that's being created, we do not fully understand how it works, and its true nature might be different to what we see at the interface. Just like Stitch makes his appearance to be like a dog, when actually that's not his true nature. That was another idea I had.